Hi guys, it's me again, Margarita. I'm in my apartment. I'm starting my sophomore year of college, and I'm not gonna lie, this is my 10th time trying to film this because my storage just kept saying it was full. So I just spent like 30 minutes deleting a bunch of junk off my phone, which is pretty productive, I'd say, I guess. But it took a long time in my life, but either way, I'm moving into my new apartment. I'm about to start my sophomore year of college. And yeah, I was shopping with my dad earlier today. Also, that's my, I don't know if I already talked about this, but that's my smoke alarm. That's what it's called. My smoke alarm is going off. It's been going off since I moved in here. And I can tell it's the only one that's going off because I can hear it echoing through the hallway. So I know my neighbors hear it too. But that's not my problem. Anyway, you're gonna hear that throughout the video. And, excuse me, I wanted to talk today about something my dad said earlier while we were shopping. So we had gone to 3 stores today, just buying cleaning supplies, food, and decor for my room, or just like things to hang up, my decor that I brought already. And after a while, he was like, his feet hurt. So we sat down and we started scratching scratcher tickets, which he loves scratching scratcher tickets. But as we were sitting there, he made me choose which scratcher ticket to give him. He was like, I don't want to choose. So I just mixed them around. Right? I like put them in a circle. I'm mixing them around. I gave him one. I took one for myself. And as we're scratching them, I'm noticing I got all the vowels, but I got none of the other letters that are really necessary for words. So I wasn't getting any N's. I wasn't getting an L. I didn't get a T or an H. And as we're scratching the tickets, I'm noticing I'm not getting any words, which is like, that's fine. I didn't expect to win anything. That's just, I just do it for fun. But I was scratching his scratcher ticket. He's like, oh, I think I might be a loser. So we switch scratcher tickets. And as I'm looking at his, I'm like, oh, you missed a few letters. So I'm scratching them off. I'm like, oh, you got 3 words. Dude, that's awesome. He's like, really? Check again. I was like, uh-oh. So I checked again. He had 4 words, and he won $20, which he was ecstatic about. He was like, let's go. He's like, I always just let it come to me. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what? It's a scratcher ticket. He's like, but you chose it for me. I was like, I guess, yeah. And he was like, whenever I try to choose something or try to control something in any minuscule way, I always seem to lose it or not get it. I was like, what? And then I was like, that's a very interesting thought to say. And he's like, but look at it. Every time I give you a scratcher ticket, or me, he's referring to, he's like, every time I give you a scratcher ticket and I choose one, mine loses and yours usually wins. I was like, that is true. That is true. He was like, it's like, you know, one of the biggest lessons I had to learn growing up was just to let things come to me. Just let things happen. I was like, wow, that is very wise to say. And I was just thinking about it more later tonight. And I was just thinking about that in reference to my life. Like, anytime I try to put a lot of control onto something, usually I never get it. Or I work super, super hard and then I get really disappointed because I didn't get it. But in reality, if we have no expectations and kind of just let things come to us, we would feel a lot more grateful within our lives. And the only example I could really give through this is fishing, right? You can't swim in the water and yell at the fish to jump in your boat or to get on your hook. Like, you can't control any certain aspect of fishing except for the rod you choose and the bait you choose. That's it. That's the 2 limiting factors that you're given. The other things are completely out of your control. And so I really like that because it just reminded me that you do have to kind of wait for that fish to grab the bait. And, if that fish doesn't come, that fish probably wasn't meant for you. Or even that situation could wait for another day. I mean, time doesn't speed up or slow down at any possible rate. It's just what you're given. And I just thought that was very interesting to hear and just really put an aspect with my own life, because he knows this too. I have a very bad tendency to try and control everything to every minuscule aspect. So for example, I could refer it to my grades. I am very on top of my grades. I like submitting assignments at least 3 days prior to when it's due. I'm just very on top of it because, I don't know, that's the type of person I am. If it's not done by then, I get really bad anxiety. But sometimes I do miss an assignment. I turn in a day early. Okay, that sounds kind of ridiculous to say out loud, but it's like a big deal to me because that feels very late in my mind. And in aspect of just anything, you can't control everything to be exactly the way you want it. Some things are gonna slip, some things are gonna happen, but it's easier if you don't hold such a higher standard or expectation, because when it comes to you, you're not let with all that disappointment, right? So referring back to what my dad said, he's like, when I try and control something, if I don't get it, I get very disappointed. If you never try and control the situation or put a lot of pressure on something, you won't be disappointed in the end because you never expected it in the first place, which I think that's great to think about and great to put in relation to other things. Like, I definitely need to implement that more in my life, but that was just something my dad said that was really wise to me, in my opinion. Just made me realize that if you stay calm and let things happen, it'll happen. And if it's not gonna happen or it doesn't happen, you never know, by the way. You never know, because even if it doesn't happen tomorrow or today, it might happen in 3 months. And if it doesn't happen in those 3 months, it might happen in a year, right? So there's a whole span of time. You have until you die, basically, for something to happen. And if it hasn't happened by then, I'm sure there's another step you could take to push you closer. You can never expect that you'll get it right away. But just having that patience and letting things come to you naturally is probably the best gift you can get, because you won't be disappointed in the end if you're putting so much pressure on it. I feel like I'm explaining it kind of poorly, so sorry if this is coming out like odd, but that was just something I learned today. I'm on my second day of the moving process, so I'm kind of exhausted, not gonna lie, and I'm kind of just dilly-dallying with my time here. Everyone's packing in, so I haven't reached out to anyone yet because I feel like everyone's still moving in and getting used to everything. But that was something I thought was really important. Just the fact that you need to let things come to you and just to focus on yourself. I'm sure that if you're focusing on yourself and really spending the time just doing your own thing, it will come to you naturally. Because if you really focus on your own attributes or things that you really want to excel with in life, the things that you want will eventually be attracted to that. I could give various examples, but I feel like it's pretty good to say. Actually, I'll give one example just in case. But an example could be like, you really want to get fit. That's a goal of mine. I really want to get fit or toned, but I can't expect that to happen in one day, right? That's not something that's just gonna happen overnight. I would technically call it impossible, because I can't change how I look or my progress and speed it up. I can speed it up as much as possible, but I can't control it for me to look a certain way by a certain time, unless I go into very extreme detail. There's other things I could do, right? But if you focus on the little things every single day, you just keep calm through it. Don't pressure yourself too much. Don't burn yourself out. Just keep going through it. You will eventually get there. It takes a lot of patience and gratitude to understand the process of it. And that's all I wanted to share for today. Have a great day, you guys. Stay grateful, stay positive.